had anyone here in the audience to tell me customers just simply don't care. You might have been able to get away with that 5 years ago, but certainly that's not the case now. People do care, and frankly, they want the major objective to be achieved, which is they want power performance information to be exposed. They want visibility about that information. And we think really Energy Star is just a means to actually achieve that goal. Then we'll put hopefully that information in its proper context with the server manufacturers, and then hopefully the IT purchasers, the data center operators, they can use that information as they see best fit for their business and for their business objectives. So we're moving down that path, and essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to harness markets to try to change behavior, which then allows you to sort of make the justification internally that we ought to buy Energy Star or we ought to design Energy Star, and that has a substantial impact over time. And the other thing that we're doing is we do recognize that your industry is a global industry. The server, or frankly the entire IT industry, is very global in nature. Products are globally traded. And so I am working very hard to try to get my counterparts in other countries to simply endorse Energy Star for their markets rather than recreate the wheel. I think that, in my heart of hearts, is the best way we get the most substantial environmental impact, which is what I get paid to focus on. And also, it's something beneficial for the manufacturers, which is they don't have a hodgepodge or patchwork quilt of different things around the world for these different products which are globally traded. So, the other thing that I want to touch on, last slide, is we are developing a data center benchmark for data center facilities. We've talked a lot about this. It is now beginning to emerge, and just a quick background for those of you who may not have heard this speech before. It is basically a 0 to 100 scale, very easy to understand. We have this model, this tool, this benchmarking tool, which we've used very successfully in many other segments of the economy with many different diverse types of buildings. And it's simply a management tool. And I know there's lots of debate and discussion about, well, frankly, my data center is different from the guy down the street, or different from other people's in even my industry, and I don't want to be compared to anyone else. Well, frankly, you will be, and your organizations are probably going to use this in some respects as a competitive tool, and I think that's actually a good thing. Now, it is true that within your organizations, people, I think, will begin to understand that what you do might be slightly different than what other data centers, what other type of computing resources or services are provided, so that it really doesn't necessarily have to be a situation where you're being compared to somebody else. You may have a lower score, but you may do something fundamentally a little bit different. So we understand that, but we really do understand that as a management tool, this works. And if we're doing our job right and we're reaching CEOs and CIOs, they will want to know, where do I stack up? I've got multiple potential facilities. Am I a 50, or am I a 75, am I a 90? Or if I'm going to outsource some of my compute demand to the cloud, so to speak, are those vendors, their facilities, a 50, a 75, or 90? I'd like to know that. So really we're trying to get visibility around this information and trying to use a scale which we think will be a very, very good management tool. And earlier in the week we went through this, that's a different acronym, and maybe it's not, and so it is a new potential metric, but I think one that's valuable, and I think we'll talk more about it at our next webinar, which is on November 12th, and you'll be able to get an update on this, and with any luck, sometime in Q1 of next year, you'll have an Energy Star benchmark to measure your data center, and hopefully some other IT specifications for Energy Star, and hopefully that will include storage by early next year. So on that note, I think I'll end right there, and I think that's my last slide, and it absolutely is. So.